9:28-45. So there was a transfiguration. Peter, James, and John was taken with Jesus 8 days after, when Jesus said about some of those standing here will not taste death until they see the kingdom of God. So it seemed like there's a link between the two um, ideas, and we know that before, when the Bible is just written as a long scroll, like of letters or books also, but they didn't have these breaks. And so maybe the original writer did link the two idea, where not taste death until they see the kingdom of God, and the kingdom of God is talking about transfiguration. Not sure. And then after that, so they saw Elijah and Moses, and then Peter was then when the two men were leaving him. So I guess Peter wanted to keep Moses and Elijah there. He wanted to build tabernacles, but the Bible said he was not even realizing what he was saying. So it's interesting how we might speak without really understanding or realizing what is being said. And then, so after that, a cloud formed, and God was speaking to them to listen to Jesus. They then saw that Jesus was alone. They kept silent. They reported to no one in those days of anything which they had seen. I wonder why. And then after that, they came down from the mountain the next day. A large crowd met Jesus, and then there was a person that has an unclean spirit, and when it saw that, when the demon saw that this person was approaching Jesus, it slammed him to the ground and threw him into a convulsion. So it's interesting how a demon-possessed person have their own will. Maybe in their own will they want to be free of this demon. Maybe in their own will they don't want to be free. But it seems like the demon was stopping him, but he still came to Jesus. I wonder how that works. Is a person with a demon possessed like still sane? Do they know what they do, or are they being taken to Jesus because of the parent asking Jesus to look at his sons? I wonder in our present day how that whole thing works. And then it's really interesting to even say like the demon was like mauling him as it leaves. Don't know what that meant, but it sounds really bad. And then so Jesus healed the boy, gave him back to his father, and they were all amazed at the greatness of God. And then Jesus told them at this point that he will be going to be handed over to men. And they didn't understand it. They were afraid to ask him about it, and it was concealed to them also. Maybe because if they understood it, like, Satan would have used that in a different way or something. But the consolation is, don't know why God did that. And if it's still happening today, that understanding is being concealed. I understand that some part of it is still being done today, like to protect a person from being in a greater like state of sin, because the more they understand, the more that is required of them, and the more they will be judged for it. So I think that in that sense, things are still concealed to people who doesn't have faith. But I wonder if it's the same thing with this scenario.